Hey, Corey Lancaster here with the Lancaster team of X-Right Realty, bringing you another episode of Real Estate Talk. And today we want to talk about appraisals, okay? We want to talk about it a little bit from the seller side and from the buyer side. The first, I want to start with the seller side. A lot of times I go on a listing presentation, right? And the seller asks me, should I have an appraisal done on the property? The answer normally is going to be no, okay? The reason why is if you get an appraisal today, let's say the appraiser comes to your house, he takes his pictures, he does what he does. That appraisal is only going to be good from the date that he came out, and typically they'll go back 6 months to find comparable homes that have sold. Typically, they're looking for three to compare against your house, and they'll do pluses and minuses to come up with the appraised value. Well, let's say they come out today and do your appraisal, and let's say tomorrow your neighbor down the street just sold his house, okay, and that house either sold for higher or sold for less. Well, that can affect the value of your house the very next day of that appraisal being done, okay? So one, appraisals are done are based off a certain point in time, and two, appraisers don't always determine what your house might sell for in the open market. I know that sounds a little strange, but appraisals don't necessarily take into consideration market conditions, whether it's a seller's market or a buyer's market. The markets are going up, and the appraisal was done 2-3 months ago, and maybe the houses have been going up in the last 2 or 3 months. Your house might sell for more. So we really don't base our home values off of appraisals. Appraisals essentially looks at the same data that we look at as real estate agents, and we will then kind of do our analysis. We call it comparative market analysis to determine what your home is worth. Okay, so you don't need an appraisal when you're going to go sell your house, unless there are some circumstances where you might, if it's a very unique home, you might get an appraisal done because there might not be similar kind of homes to yours. Yours is a very custom home, and that would have to be a very, very custom home, normally a higher price home if you're going to get appraisal done on it, okay? From the buyer side, when you go out and buy a home, your contract should be contingent upon a appraisal, okay? So what that means is you're going to have an appraisal on that property. If that appraisal does not come back at the contract price or higher, okay, you're going to have the right to back out of that contract and get your earnest deposit back. What typically happens is if the appraisal comes back lower, you're going to send the appraisal to the seller as proof that it came back lower, and you're going to send an addendum asking him to drop the price to the appraised value. He can say yes, he can say no. If he says yes, we move forward. If he says no, again, you can back out and get your earnest deposit back. Who orders the appraisal? Technically, it's your bank. Your bank is going to order the appraisal on your behalf. You're going to pay your lender. Your lender is going to order the appraisal because the appraisal is really for the lender to make sure that he's lending money on a home that is worth the money that he's lending on. Okay, because that's going to be the collateral of the loan. Okay, so those are some things you need to make sure that you understand about appraisals. If you have any questions about appraisals, certainly give me a call. I'd love to get those questions answered. All right. Thank you for joining in on another episode of Real Estate Talk.